There are so many ways to estimate your team's work in Agile development. There's t-shirt sizing, relative estimation, story points. Which one is right for you? In this video, we're going to talk about different types of estimation and how your team can use which works best for you.
Dive right into the world of Agile today as we explore Agile estimation. It's more than just guessing how much time it will take to complete a task. Agile estimation is a core component of Agile project management, a crucial tool for teams to effectively plan, manage, and forecast their work. It's all about sizing up your work items and giving them a relative value. This value isn't necessarily time-bound. It can represent complexity, effort, or risk involved in completing the task. The beauty of Agile estimation lies in its flexibility and adaptability. It's not a rigid structure, but a dynamic process that evolves with your project, allowing your team to adjust and recalibrate as you progress. The aim isn't to achieve perfect precision, but to provide a reliable, consistent frame of reference that helps in planning and forecasting. Now that we understand what Agile estimation is, let's uncover the 5 main strategies used in Agile estimation. Agile estimation strategies are as diverse as the teams using them. Here are the 5 main ones. First up, we have relative points. This strategy involves choosing a work item, assigning it a number of points, and then sizing everything else based on how it compares with that first item. The beauty of this method is it increases the likelihood that the team will trust their estimate because they define the estimation unit. It's quick, cost-effective, and allows for high-level estimates. However, newcomers might find the conversion of points into hours during detailed planning a tad confusing. Next, we have the t-shirt sizes strategy. Here, the team uses sizes such as small, medium, large, and extra large to estimate. It's a quick, inexpensive way to gauge at a high level, and it's easy to get started. However, projecting cost or schedule can be a challenge, as sizes can't be easily added together. But don't fret, you can overcome this by converting sizes to points or hours. Then we have similar sized items. In this strategy, all work items are made to be roughly the same amount of effort. It's a form of no estimates, as you simply count the number of similarly sized items. However, sometimes a work item is broken down too much in an effort to have similarly sized items, which can lead to additional overhead. Fourth on our list is normalized points. The team uses a common pointing system, also used by other teams. This can also be implemented as an hours-based strategy. It's useful across a program, allowing estimates done by different teams to be rolled up into an overall program estimate, but it does come with the overhead of maintaining a common estimation unit across teams. Finally, we have the hours strategy. Here, the team estimates in terms of work hours needed to implement the work item. It's great for easy roll-up of estimates across teams, but could prove costly due to the tendency to delve into detailed implementation issues. These strategies, each with their unique advantages and trade-offs, provide a variety of options for Agile teams. But the question is, which one suits your team best? The best Agile estimation strategy is the one that works best for your team.
If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please like this video. Helps create more content. And I'll let you finish the rest of the video.
It's like choosing the right tool for the job. There's no one-size-fits-all approach. The strategy you choose should suit your team size, the complexity of your project, and the dynamics of your team. Relative points might be a good fit for teams that need to quickly estimate at a high level. T-shirt sizes can be a fun and simple way to get started, especially for smaller teams. If your work items are similar in effort, then the similar-sized items strategy might be your best bet. Larger teams working across different sub-projects might find normalized points useful. And if you're into detailed planning, hours might be your cup of tea. Remember, be flexible. Don't be afraid to change strategies if the one you're using isn't working out. Agile is all about adapting and improving. Remember, the ultimate goal is to enhance productivity and deliver value. So, choose wisely. Now we turn the spotlight to you, our esteemed audience. We've walked through the fascinating world of Agile estimation from relative points to hours. Each strategy has its unique strengths and trade-offs, and they all have a place in different Agile settings. But what piques our interest is your personal journey with these strategies. Which of these have you tried and tested? Has there been a strategy that consistently works for you, or perhaps a method you'd rather not revisit? Your insights are invaluable. They provide a real-world perspective to the theory we've just discussed. We encourage you to share your experiences, your challenges, your successes. Did you find relative points more intuitive, or did t-shirt sizes make more sense to your team? How do you handle the trade-offs of your chosen strategy? Let your experiences inspire others. Remember, in Agile, we grow together, so don't hesitate to share your thoughts in the comments section below.
So here is all the estimation methods laid out into one place, so we can go over them. So let's start with the one at the top, relative points. So really how this one works is that you have a point system that is assigning a size to a particular task or story, and then you're basing everything off of that one task or story. Okay. Remember, all of these estimation methods have pros and cons. So there's no optimal solution for every single team. So keep in mind as I go through this, think of situations that work best for your team. Going back to relative points, here are some of the trade-offs, pros and cons for this method. It increases the chance that the team will believe in their estimate because they define what that unit, that starting measure unit is. Also, it enables the teams to quickly and inexpensively estimate at a high level. They're just saying, is it bigger or smaller than this one we'd identified story or task? It can be easily used to provide some kind of cost and time projections. Remember, you have burn up and burn down charts of this. You could probably pull hours from people's timesheets and things like that to understand what it actually means in capacity or hours. One thing though is people can get confused on how these are converted into hours into detailed planning. So keep in mind that, again, there is pros and cons of this, but relative estimation overall has some goods and bads. Let's go to the next one though, t-shirt sizing. So this is where you assign stories or pieces of work, for example, small, medium, large, extra large. So it's a really quick, easy way to just identify the size of something. And you can make decisions quickly, it's inexpensive, it's high level, easy, probably the easiest technique out of all these. It's really simple. Everybody understands t-shirt sizes, at least from my experience. One thing it's hard to do is like converting it into something that maybe you can plan for or cost estimate. For example, what does a small and extra large mean? So that's kind of, is it a small, medium, large? Is it a extra large, small? It's hard to convert that. So there is a piece of it that you can overcome by converting these sizes into points or hours. So maybe there's a small equals 2 hours or large equals 5 hours. But again, there's a way to convert that. And then also people new to the strategy can become confused because of this conversion in detailed planning as far as, hey, you're saying I have 5 extra larges and 1 small. What does that mean in terms of hours of what I can do? So that's some confusion that can come with this one. Next one is similar size items. So all work is created so they are close to the same amount of effort. This is also one of those strategies. You've probably heard that trending of hashtag no estimates. This is the same concept here, is that you really just make things all equally sized. And so you understand, we'll just give an example, one day. So all stories are one day and you can track the stories that way for throughput or for planning. So sometimes this can be tedious and add extra administrative work because you might have to break down stories or pieces of work more than you would usually do. And so this will result in extra administrative work of managing that. And also if there's multiple pieces to this bigger work that you have to break down, like making sure that you can track individual pieces that makes up that whole. Next estimation method is normalized points. So this is where the team uses a common point system. So this is something that, like, if you have multiple teams, it's useful for. And for example, you can say, hey, 1 point equals 8 hours. Every single team is going to use that. And so again, this is the positive of this one, is that you can use it across programs, multiple teams, and they can be rolled up into something that is equivalent to each team. So if you have 1 point that's going to be equivalent to 1 point on another team. So when you have 500 points for this total work to be done, you kind of have an idea of kind of where that's at, or roughly. It can cause extra overhead because you have to maintain these across the teams. As teams continue to execute, there's new team members, different perspectives, you're thinking of it, changing it. Is this relative estimation? Right, there's some things that can be confusing as you continue forward. So there's some kind of cross-team sync that would probably need big room planning, program increment planning, something to making sure that you're realigning on the teams at some kind of cadence. And this isn't an exact method. Things change, and when you end up actually pulling the hours of actually what was done, it's often not exactly, for example, 1 point equals 8 hours. It might be 6 hours, it might be 10 hours. So again, there's some different things that can happen there. And so it's a strategy often questioned is that if you're not large of a bigger program, why are you using it? Or why are you causing the extra confusion and extra overhead when you don't need it? Because you don't need to go across multiple teams. The last method here, hours. The team estimates the work in just hours. So how many hours does it take? So what this provides, though, is an easy roll-up of all the team's work, because you have a consistent unit, which is hours. This is very expensive, just like normalized points, because you can get very detailed into the implementation issues. And so this one here, I would say adding the Fibonacci sequence kind of mitigates some strategies, because you have a select number of choices versus all the choices from 1 through 100 would take a long time, because people are really discussing the details when, again, you're putting a lot of time up front planning, which can prove to be wasteful in the end, because you end up having to revise the requirements later down the road. Also, a thing for here is you need to know who's doing the work, because productivity can depend from developer to developer. Maybe a senior to a younger developer are different. And so that's kind of where things can be a little bit funky, because if someone estimated that was a senior and it says 1 to 2 hours, but then, hey, a novice ended up getting that story, you could see how that might take them 8 hours, but like, how are you supposed to track that? And it looks like the developer has done only 2 hours worth of work. So something to keep in mind, and as you're going, if you're picking this method. So this covers all the methods, or I think the popular ones that you can use within your team. I'm curious of what you use in your team and how it works for you, or if you use a method that's not on here, I'd like to hear. Leave it in the comments below and we can discuss. Love to discuss, and remember, stay agile-ish.